Some of those wonderful performers that you just heard singing are changing to get ready for these performances. So it'll be a couple more minutes, but please make yourselves comfortable. So now for the second part of our performances, as you can see in your program, we're going to see some dances. We're going to hear some music, and we'll get a little bit of a preview of Twelfth Night. So without further ado, I give you our performing arts.
belly. What do you want from me? Why don't you run from me? Where do we go? Come here. What is it exactly? I wanna end. I wanna end me. I wanna end me. What do you want from me? Why don't you run from me? What are you wondering? What do you know? Why aren't you scared of me? Why do you care for me? When we all fall asleep, where do we go? plenty of price. Well, they dress her up in golden crowns. His smile hides a lie. She smiles back, but it's a fact that her fear will eat her alive. She got the life that she wanted, but now all she does is cry. Take what you want, take what you can, take what you please, don't give a damn, ask for forgiveness, never permission. Take what you want, take what you can, take what you please, don't give a damn, it's in the blood, and this is tradition. You can't take it back, it's good as gold. Flesh and Legion, this is your soul. And I hope what's left will last all summer long. And they said that boys were boys, but they were wrong.
Westover School presents 12th Night, the abridged silent film. Good afternoon, all you dapper dans, dandy dames, flappers, and folks. Welcome to the beautiful old money town of Illyria. The year is 1920 fun, and the stock market is soaring. Unfortunately, not everything is going quite so swell for the cast of 12th Night.
Viola, a young lady of society, is left washed up on the shores of Illyria alone with the sea captain who saved her life. She has been separated from her beloved twin brother Sebastian in a treacherous shipwreck. She, devastated about her brother's death, is very upset for a moment, but promptly sucks it up and decides to serve the Duke as a messenger. But how in the world, she wondered, could a lonesome little woman like her ever become a messenger? What if I dress up like a man so I can be the Duke's messenger boy, she thought, foreseeing no problems with this plan.
The Duke, a lovesick man named Orsino, laments to his servant Curio over his unrequited love for the fair lady Olivia. Why, oh why, he cries, will the beautiful Olivia not be my wife? Meanwhile, Olivia is very sad. I am very sad, says Olivia, being very sad. You see, her brother and her father had both recently died, leaving her all alone in the world. And on top of that, Orsino will not leave her alone, no matter how many times she tells him she is way too sad to get married.
On the other side of town, Viola successfully becomes Orsino's messenger boy. My name is now Cesario, she says, and I am definitely a man. Go to the Lady Olivia, Orsino tells her, and tell her of my love. So Cesario, who's actually Viola, goes to Olivia's house to tell her of Orsino's undying love. As you'll remember, Olivia is very sad and marriage requests over and over from a man she does not love. For the last time, I cannot love Orsino, says Olivia, promptly falling passionately in love with Cesario, who is really Viola instead.
He is the most adorable man I have ever seen, she says, sending servant Malvolio to run after him under the pretense of returning a ring.
I never gave her a ring, Viola says in confusion, before suddenly realizing that Olivia has fallen in love with her. What will become of this, she says. I love Orsino, Orsino loves her, and Olivia loves me.
Meanwhile, as it turns out, Viola's twin brother Sebastian didn't drown in the shipwreck after all, and indeed was saved by a man named Antonio. Thinking his beloved brother has drowned in the shipwreck, he decides to go to Orsino's court. While all this is happening, Olivia's uncle Sir Toby, his friend Andrew Augachik, her gentlewoman Maria, her servant Fabian, and her jester Feste are all having a wild time partying it up. We love to party, they say, partying. Unfortunately, resident party pooper Malvolio berates them for staying up late and disturbing the household. I know what to do to get revenge on that party pooper, says Maria, as she forms her master prankster plan. She writes a letter, pretending it's from Olivia, expressing her love for Malvolio and encouraging him to do all kinds of wacky things. After all, some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Malvolio falls for the trick and tries to court his employer Olivia, which makes her think he must have gone crazy.
Angry that Olivia fell in love with Cesario, Sir Toby and Fabian urge Sir Andrew to challenge the messenger boy to a duel. Right as the two draw their swords, Antonio appears. Put down your swords, he says, thinking Viola is his friend Sebastian. He then gets arrested by two officers for committing crimes. Meanwhile, the real Sebastian wanders into Olivia's court. Olivia, mistaking him for Cesario, who is actually Viola, immediately proposes marriage to him. Sebastian, bewildered that this beautiful stranger wants to marry him, makes the logical decision and says yes.
Still seeking to duel with Cesario, Sir Andrew and Sir Toby then find Sebastian, who defends himself, wounding both men.
In the climax of the play, the identical Viola and Sebastian finally meet face to face in a very, very, very confusing moment, overjoyed to find one another alive. Aww. They can hardly believe it. With the secret that Cesario is actually Viola now out, Orsino vows to marry her, and Olivia is still happily married to Sebastian.
Feste sings a super fun song, and they all live happily ever after. Well, except for Malvolio, who angrily swears he'll get revenge on all the pranksters for their cruel joke.
Come see the show!
Hello, everyone. Wasn't that wonderful? How about another round of applause? So nice to see them all performing again, and a big round of applause to all the techies behind the scenes. Take these programs with you. They've got the save the dates for, first off, 12th night on November 12th and 13th. And then you can see the rest of the dates for the rest of the year, but we hope to have you back in this space for all of that. Welcome to Family Weekend. We are so glad to kick this all off. Please join us for the bonfire tonight up at Seven Sisters. Your children can show you how to get there. And we look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for a full day of festivities. So, welcome.